you're trying to win business or build relationships, people look at your LinkedIn and they'll look at the last 2-3 posts. That's what you can see on your profile. You will get judged, I'm afraid. And when I do calls for some clients or in meetings, the first 2-3 minutes will be something completely about what I'm not calling you about. So I'll find something as an icebreaker. If there's no icebreaker, the call is cold. An icebreaker makes it from cold being warm. Because could you imagine doing a tender and your tender's not up to scratch? So you've got spelling mistakes.
Interesting.
Client's going to go, really like this, really want to work with these guys, but is this right? You're going to get judged, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's going to affect you winning work or not, but it's just that first impression. Or you can ask them what you're looking to get out of this tender and just tell them what we do. Or even question, do you know anything about us? If they go, no, we don't. It's like, that's the client you don't really want to work with long term. But if it's cash flow that's up and down, mate, I completely get that. 2 softwares that people can use right now or free actually, is like Apollo, Instantly.ai, Email Sneak. Mate, it's sales nav times by 1,000, and you can have that installed into your CRM and it will do everything for you as a transcript.
How much business do you think, if you could put a number on a percentage, contractors are missing by not using AI?
I believe right now, the medium-sized firms, I'm talking about people who've got 15 to 20 headcount.
Faisal, welcome to SQFT-Stories.
How's it going, man?
I'm all good, man. I'm all good. Thanks for coming down, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
Nah, it's cool, mate. It's cool. Like, I was super keen to get, mate. We had a pre-chat, not before this, but on the phone, for a long time, and it was interesting, the types of things that you were talking about. Business development, AI, construction, and how it's all going to merge. So, I really want to dive into that. But before I go into that, do you want to just give us a quick background about you and like what you're about?
Yeah, mate. So I've been I'm probably been a bit too quiet in the industry. So I've come from a very corporate background many, many years ago, went away, came back, got myself, kind of reset my life, I've come from a sales background more than anything, accidentally got into property about 7 years ago. So I've just transferred my sales and business development skill set, seen a gap in the market, and there still is a big gap in the market of business development, how it's not been done. And it's just really skyrocketed now, where I've got to that point where I'm now previously working at a business development firm. I've now set up my own in the last 3 months, and now I'm just looking to make a change and impact and just create a vision for the industry on how business development and building long-term relationships leads to better business growth and allowing you to create more freedom for your life inside your business, which allows you to focus on the other things that you need to be working on to build that. Because otherwise, we all just get stuck in this rut, mate. So look, not any kind of like sales guru here. I think I've been a bit too quiet, I've been told. So I wanted to come on today and just kind of talk about where I can help, man.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sure you can. I mean, I've been reading some of your LinkedIn stuff. It's good content that you're pumping out, and it's solving a real issue in our industry. I told you before that I spoke to a girl called Beatrice who came on.
Yeah.
And some of the things that she was talking about, just in terms of like the archaic nature behind construction and how people focus on developing business and, like just sales in general, because construction isn't really seen as, I don't know what it is, but it's not really seen as a sales industry. Like when people win work, it's not seen as sales. It's almost like order taking as such rather than sales. So, super want to dive into that. But you mentioned there, you were a part of a business development firm or worked for a business development firm.
Yeah. And I'm still associated with that, with that firm. It's just, I've seen more attention now coming towards my way. Clients need more help. However, I can't take on everyone. So we're working with bespokely clients who I want to work with. So when you work for a company, it's more like you've got to work with these guys. It's like, okay, you have no choice, but now I get more control with that. So I can be really delicate on what people really actually need and solve their biggest pain points, not just, I need more tenders and I need more opportunities and want to get more meetings. It's all about really going down to the deep core of how much time you're actually spending inside your business or on your business and finding that equilibrium, what you actually need. We're just blokes.
Yeah.
Like I said to you before we started, we're just normal blokes. We go out, go on site, we want to do X, Y, and Z, go home, and repeat. Friday, Saturday, have a drink or two, and repeat. However, what happens is when your business grows, you become more operational. You have to wear 20 hats. You have to do the admin, you've got to do the finances, and you have to be on site, you have to send follow-ups, you have to do business development, you've got to do everything, marketing now. Social media is now growing. AI, it's overwhelming. So for me, it's more like, where can I take the pressure off your shoulders when it comes to tenders, because at the end of the day, without sales, you don't have a business, whether it's in construction, whether it's in hairdressing, whatever, you need that. When COVID hit, a lot of people, what they tend to do is they got rid of most of their staff, but didn't get rid of the salespeople. But when they did, that's when we saw more outreach. In fact, that's probably the peakiest and busiest times we saw. We had to refuse clients. We had a meeting waiting list. I'm like, wow, that's mental. So we had to refuse, which I felt bad, by the way. It was COVID. So people had to cut off costs and cut off staff. But then they realised after 2 years in, we're not going back to the office anytime soon, working from home. People realised that they had no control of staff. So get to come in, no, I can't come in. Got to be with X, Y, and Z. But the law is now working from home. It's not a law, but we've got no choice but to use that. So for me, it has now been to the case of, where can I help you the deepest core of your pain? And where could you see that relief, whether it's going to be 3, 6, 12 months? Because I see a lot of people now on LinkedIn or social media or Instagram, it's more like, I can turn this into gold. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's like, it's this snapshot hook that you see, where it's, because don't get me wrong, like a couple of, like, you know, like 4 or 5 years ago, I'd see a hook on something like Instagram or whatever it be, and it'd be like, you know, I can do this for you in 4 weeks and you can earn this. And I'll be like, oh, right, that's quite interesting, actually. I might have a look at that. And then, like, the more it goes on and the more you kind of like a little bit more noticeable of these things, you kind of realize, like, nothing's short term, like, sorry, nothing's that quick. It's impossible to do things. And you'll, like I said, off camera, you'll know better than anyone, because, you know, being a personal trainer or being in the fitness industry, there's no quick fix to an end goal. And the reason why I say that is because people want to go from A to B and within their body shape and how they look, and they always want it quickly a lot of the time. So you probably know better than anybody that people want that quick fix.
Exactly. It's not just, I've transferred that skill set from the coaching industry now into business, and I've been like that for the last 6, 7 years. And I always say that to anyone who I meet now in life. It's like, right, there's nothing quick, especially in business. If anyone tells you online you can make £100,000 in the next 90 days, absolutely scrap that. Or 10K a month the next 90 days, scrap that. You need to know personal branding, now get used to what technology is, and you have to give what people want. Because especially in the fitness game, people weren't, there was 2 sides to it. There were like the cult of people like, this is how you do X, Y, and Z. And it's all about viewership and what works. And do you know what? The people that were the most educated were doing, and still are probably doing so well. But the real coaches were afraid of doing the personal branding, and still are. Like, I've been there as well, by the way. Were afraid to put their own voice out, afraid to state it from the heart, and afraid to be too authentic. Now that's changed. And I'm seeing that a lot more now on LinkedIn, but I do feel like LinkedIn's probably about a year or 2 behind, only because people are so worried about what to put out, not because of the algorithm or what people expect. Then you've got the corporate, and you've got about your business, personal branding. So if you say anything wrong, you've got, let's say, 10,000 followers. You might feel like you're going to be judged by someone that you might want to work with in a year's time. Like the biggest client that you're going to work with follows you. But I can't say that. I say screw that, be yourself, because there'll be more appeal to know who you are. Now it's all about interest media. That's on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. LinkedIn is now slowly turning into that. So I've been observing that recently. It's more like, well, and I feel like you need to show who you are, what you do. You've got kids, football, sport, tech, whatever you love doing in life, show that as well. So I do a lot of that on Instagram.
Do you find, because I fell pitful of this when I first started posting on LinkedIn, I would really try and polish up my posts, because I would write things and I'd think, that doesn't really sound right. I'm not really too sure that sounds as it should sound. So I used to be apprehensive. So, I mean, I think maybe last year or 18 months ago, I committed to posting daily on LinkedIn. But before that, I was going to post daily, but I'd write things. I'd be like, I don't think I should post that, so I wouldn't post it. And then it's same was with the podcast as well, to be honest with you. So when I first started this, I would talk to people on the podcast, but I was relatively apprehensive about what I was saying, because I'd think, the camera's on me, I don't want to say anything that a future client might listen to, and then be like, I don't want to work with them. But as I spoke to a few people who have been coaching bits and bobs for me, they've kind of said, well, if you just be yourself, then the people who you want to work with will work with you, and the people who you wouldn't want to work with won't work with you. Exactly. Because they'll watch and listen to things you're saying, but I don't want to work with them. They're not the people I want to work with anyway. So I had to get over this hurdle, to be fair, with the posting and with this as well, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Of course.
I used to think, I may as well just be myself, which sounds ridiculous because like you just being yourself. Like I'm just being Callum, you're just being Faisal, but it sounds silly because people aren't, because they have this facade on LinkedIn or social media, whatever it is, where they're like, I need to come across in this way. I have to come across in this way because I think that's what's going to further my career or my business or podcast, whatever it is. So I had that initial hurdle to get over, to be fair.
I was on the same. And do you know what? I think we always will be to an extent, because especially if you've gained momentum and traction over the years, especially doing the podcast, you're still going to be a bit more anti of, oh, is that right, is that not? And you post it and, I've got to edit it now, and then it's going to show edited on my LinkedIn because you've put it up, or you delete it and put it up straight away again.
I did a lot of that. I did a lot. I'd post something and then, this is even of like sites, of our sites, I'd post something of the site and I'd be like, oh no, there's a trailing lead on the floor. I should probably delete that because someone's going to think that they shouldn't have trailing leads. Or I'd post something, you know, even with like a little spelling mistake, and then I'd be like,
that's huge.
I'm going to delete that because there's a little spelling mistake on there.
I think you need to be really, you can use like AI now to really help you with that.
Do you think you should correct the spelling mistakes on if you're posting? The only reason I say that is because, again, I've got another friend who is dyslexic and he posts on LinkedIn and he just writes whatever he's thinking, and then there's loads of spelling mistakes.
But you need to use Grammarly or something.
Yeah, but he just posts it.
No, that needs to be sharp.
Yeah, okay.
If you are working with clients who operate at a really high level,
yeah,
you're going to have to make sure that's, because could you imagine doing a tender and your tender's not up to scratch? It's got spelling mistakes.
Interesting.
Client's going to go, really like this, really want to work with these guys, but is this right? You're going to get judged, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's going to affect you winning work or not, but it's just that first impression.
Human nature as well.
First impression is massive.
Yeah.
If you're trying to win business or build relationships, people look at your LinkedIn and they'll look at the last 2-3 posts, because that's what you can see on your profile. You will get judged, I'm afraid. And that sounds really harsh.
But that's human nature. I was just going to say then, like, we as humans judge people straight away, subconsciously as well. We don't think we're doing it, but we just judge people instantly, like what they're wearing, like how they're moving, cars they drive, you know, like how they show up, their general attitude is like, we as humans just judge.
What he could have done, and I thought this is a really good way, if you're dyslexic or you have a disability, mention it. I'd mention it and go, look, just so you know, I'm actually dyslexic, but make it like fun out of it. That's what I would do. So if he couldn't physically correct it, didn't know how to correct his punctuation, spelling, I would just put something at the end. PS, just saying, no, I'm actually dyslexic.
I actually think he did, now thinking about it. I think I read a post and he wrote that.
Wicked.
In fact, he did, I'm thinking about it, because he actually wrote a massive post about being dyslexic and about how he just leaves the spelling mistakes.
So that's his personal brand.
Thinking about
so
it.
If he kept shouting that to the rooftop, he comes across, he's being genuine. People know straight away he's dyslexic. He probably, if he works really well on what he does and people can see that, mate, amazing. So there's nothing wrong with that. No. Then again, if you're really worried about it, maybe get some help on correcting that. But if you don't want to get help and you just want to be you, mate, I'm all for that.
Yeah, nice. So obviously doing what you do now, was this your first kind of like entry into construction, or did you have any pre-existing working relationships in construction, or is this it? This is the start of construction for you?
So this is the start of construction.
Yeah.
So coming from a BDM sales background for the last 16, 17 years, we saw a gap in the market of consultancy, but how can it be done without using the agency model? Because I don't like that word. I feel like it's just too high end. And it's like, you wouldn't use that in a conversation down a pub on a Friday night, doing this, doing that. And
construction owners, when they hear the word agency, they just think expensive.
Yeah.
They would just think it's too expensive.
And it is expensive.
Yeah, no, you are right. But the preconception of it, when they think an agency's coming in, they're like, I'm paying this huge fees to these people who sometimes they think aren't really going to change anything. So they get put off by it. They might just get put off by that word. Yeah.
It's not a nice, I wouldn't like it if I was on the phone. So for me, it's more partnerships. So I call myself Peak One Partners because it's a partnership as an external part of your business. So it's acting like I'm actually an employee inside your business, but just not on legal paper. That's how I treat business development. Because if you treat it as an agency model, I feel like you put yourself at too much risk. High price, all right, you're gonna have to deliver, absolutely, but then you're not working with the person that you're physically on the phone to. You're working with, I get it, account managers, and there's going to be a team of who does ads, going to be a team who does BD, there's going to be a team who does the social media. So that's why they're a really high-end price point. And there's some great guys out there, but there's no one in the property and construction industry that does it. So that's why I see, right, people just need more of a personal approach, actually physically work with people. So I now go and attend some meetings with clients just to show them how to run a meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it needs to be done. I just couldn't physically qualify someone to go, right, there's a tender out opportunity, but they want to meet you, they want to get to know you. They actually don't want to treat you as a contractor. They want to treat you as a long-term partnership.
Yeah.
So they want to give you something small to introduce you to. I will go, right, this is a huge opportunity for the client here, big client or not. It's first impressions that count. Some clients need it because they've come from site and transferring that from site to being a business person, it takes time. So I'm happy to teach people to kind of go, this is how you do it. I was there one yesterday, so with a contractor, and I would always set the pace and set the agenda and gradually just blend him in. We don't need to like script anything on the phone. Mm-hmm. We just turn up, I will set the pace, and he or she would know how it's going to lead. Because the person on the other end wants to know who you are, why you're different. And the back end of yesterday's meeting, we got a tender whilst having coffee.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Clients only want to meet you if you've got something. They've got no time to meet you, but if they want to meet you, it's because they like what you're doing or they like the first impression.
Yeah.
Portfolio of works that you're doing is very similar to what they're doing. You've won work with clients, you've been doing X, Y, and Z. So the first impression mark is ticked. They don't really care about your LinkedIn or your personal branding, even though that would help. They don't want you to feel, oh, they're so busy online, how they're doing stuff on site.
Yeah.
And they get to know more about you as the person, who you are, and I qualify them down as much as I can to represent you as the client. So to get you in front of them. So when you meet them, there's a 70% chance that will convert into a tender. We got it live on the actual coffee meeting, which was amazing.
One thing I did want to do, funny enough, actually, is I was reading through your LinkedIn, and I want to read you part of a post that you put because it's really relevant for what you're talking about now, and that's about like how to present yourself in a meeting, which I found quite interesting. So most contractors prefer to talk about their projects in every client meeting. Some talk about how big their client base is. Some talk about their plans for Q4. Others talk about who they know in the industry. But that goes in one ear and out the other. I feel smaller contractors do a better job.
Yeah.
Some want to know more about your dog, for instance, some favourite holiday spot, and why the partner yells at you for not washing the dishes, which I get, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
You need to talk about why you exist, what you believe in both personally and professionally, and the impact you want to create in construction. That's the missing piece to the puzzle.
Yeah.
How often do you find people go into these meetings and all they want to talk about is work, work, work?
No. When I do calls for some clients or in meetings, the first 2-3 minutes will be something completely about what I'm not calling you about. So I'll find something as an icebreaker. Completely. If there's no icebreaker, the call is cold. An icebreaker makes it from cold being warm. And that's how I don't believe in cold calls at all because you can create that. So yesterday we met with a surveyor. We just spoke about literally about football. Spoke about he just lives down the road, the area, the good and the bad, the cafe we were in, and then we got into it. It doesn't matter if someone who's really nerdy, if they're not funny, they've got a personality, and I want to bring something out of them if they were. Vice versa, as well. Like, when I connect to people on LinkedIn now, I would just call people up, just say hi.
Sorry to interrupt, but that's very interesting you say that because, again, another conversation I had with somebody was how how people nowadays, the newer people that are coming into the industry, they're afraid to get on the phone and to ring people and just to talk to them face to face, or sorry, not face to face, but over the phone. So it's interesting because you said off camera as well that people who connect with you, you ring them.
They don't expect it.
Yeah, they don't expect it.
I did one last week, right?
It's very interesting how you do that,
Listen
or why
to
you
this.
do that, sorry.
Called up a guy. I thought he was just a small building consultancy guy. And called him up just to say hello. He goes, this is really, I goes, oh, no, we connect, I remember. But I don't ever get calls like this. And it turned out that he's got an office in UK. He's about to open one in Miami. He's got one in the Middle East. And he was about, right, I actually might need you. He offered me to meet for lunch.
Wow.
So we're still negotiating, by the way.
That's straight off a call.
Yeah, straight off one call.
And it's funny because like a lot of people wouldn't either have the confidence to do that, to be fair, and also the thought process like, oh, I'm going to ring them and I'm going to have a conversation. Like, so it's just funny that you do that. I've never heard anybody who does that, who just rings people straight off a
Well, I've
connection
come
request.
from that background. So I used to do loads of B2B, B2C. I've done door knocking. I've done call
The old
centers.
door knocking.
So I was in Australia for like 4 years. So I had a round world ticket all like planned out.
Yeah.
Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia.
Oh, I did that as well. The
Got
Asia.
to Oz, never left. Got so sucked into the environment where I was working. So we're working for electricity and gas company. So it was basically, we were sold of like how much money you can make. I was like, do you know what, give it 2 weeks. And everyone starts for the first week or two and you don't make like minimum amount of money that you need to make, you're gone. And I would be, because this is like commission based.
Yeah.
I loved it, mate. Because I was doing so much cold calling at the call centre at Lloyds Bank for like 7-8 years.
What's the art of, like, so for a construction owner,
Yeah.
or somebody working in construction, you have to be a business owner, maybe working in sales or business development in construction. Like how would you recommend that they call people? Like what approach would you take if you were them? So say, for instance, right, I've spotted somebody, I think you would be a really good client. Like how would I call them and what would I start speaking about and how would I develop it and nurture it from there?
So I recently went into a building consultancy firm. They've got BDMs. They do all the legwork, pretty much what I do. I ask them exactly what are you doing when you're connecting with LinkedIn or going out for drinks or exhibition or expos. They're like, we'll email and call. I'm like, no, you need to get on the phone to these guys. So if you're on LinkedIn, call them up because they're not going to expect it, and it looks more genuine. And do some research about them. Mention something on the phone. If you're that worried, it's a confidence thing, mate. It's a confidence issue, and if you can just get repetition. So let's say you're connecting with 50 people a day. If you can call up at least 20 a day and forget the other 30, call up the people that you want to work with. Don't just call anyone. Because I would only call you, A, I like what you do.
Yep.
B, I potentially want to see if I can help you. And C, there's definitely a gap where I can feel like you could add a bit more value to what you're doing. Or I can refer you maybe to someone. It's like a crossover of a client. If I can get one of those ticked off at the end of that call, then I'm pretty happy. There's calls where it doesn't go well. I had one yesterday, not interested in what you do. I mean, that's fine. Not worries at all. Could we just keep over communication the next couple of months? Because I'm sure we will cross over at some point, whether it's like an event. He goes, no, that's fine. Yeah, send me an email. Even though it was really harsh on the phone, he said, I'm not interested, mate. I think I caught me at a bad time.
Yeah.
But going back to what you're saying, it's just repetition because it builds confidence. And I think it's knowing what to say. I feel like that with not just contractors, but consultancy as well. There's a reason why they hire BDMs internally, because they want to spend more time building that business, which I get. But I would always go to them, what would happen if the world's about to end in a week's time and you had to get rid of all your staff, but you had to do the calls? Would you do it? No, we don't have to do. Because they're not used to it.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised the amount of people who are turning over millions a year. When you look at them in meetings, they struggle to be themselves.
Wow.
So if you can't sell your product, be yourself. Just talk about stuff, what you do, and it will naturally blend into what you do. Who you're working with, what's been good, what you're doing. Because there's no sales pitch, man.
No, you don't need it as well. Like,
You don't need a
no one
pitch.
wants to be sold. No one wants actually to be sold to, really, do they, anymore?
No.
Like, because I was going to play devil's advocate on that, almost the cold calling approach that you do. It's like, do you not find people are like, oh, that's really annoying? Like, he keeps ringing me, or because the reason why I say that is because we have suppliers who ring all the time, and I'm like, oh, it's fucking, excuse my French. He's ringing me all the time. Oh, he's ringing me again. And I just think, hang up, not answer. Don't want to speak to him. He's pestering me as such.
Well, for me, it's a bit different because I'm working with. So let's say if you're a main contractor, and I've got really good connections with like QSs or surveyors, and I openly know that they are looking to potentially work with more. I won't mention it on the phone, but I will say if you were to get more QSs or surveyors on board, that's probably the direction I would take. So I'll try and mini qualify you and just see where your business is at the moment. If anything, mate, I wouldn't even mention that until like 5-10 minutes into the call.
Right.
Unless it's a really quick call, like what do you actually want?
Yeah.
So it's confidence and knowing what to say and how to say it and be ready and mirror people as well. You've got to speak their language. So if someone's quite corporate on the phone, be corporate. If someone's really casual, be casual.
Okay.
Because if you're too blokey and it's someone really corporate on the phone, which is quite rare these days,
Yeah.
you wobble. There's going to be a mismatch. It's like going for a date. You know, it's like she's the complete opposite to what I expected. This ain't happening again. I'm not going to see you, unfortunately. It's pretty much me on the phone. But now everyone's shooting out emails, and that's not being tracked. People are not looking at what works and what doesn't. So you need to know how to be confident in what you do. Because if you don't believe in what you do, your tone of your voice will show, and it will show in terms of how you deliver your work. Regardless of how well you're doing, man, it's first impressions. Because if you're going to meet someone for a beer or coffee, that first 2 minutes, whether it's a handshake, just be yourself, but also have a smile on your face, man, because you want to create business here, and you got to have a lasting impact in the industry. Because I feel like with contractors, especially if you're like a 1-man or 2-man or 4-man band, you need new business. You need to know what pipeline's looking like.
So say, for instance, just a couple of questions off the back of that, but I'll stick to the original one. So what would you say like you just started working with a contractor who was, there was like maybe 3 or 4 of them. There was them who kind of ran the business. They had somebody doing, I don't know, sales and a couple of people on site, for instance. Like, how would you approach for them to start, nurturing and developing their business development side of things and also sales? Like, what's the first thing you'd kind of look at and think, this is what you need to improve on, etc.?
Yeah, so I would look at who's doing the sales, what's worked in the last couple of years, what's brought their business up to where it is. So a lot of it would be word of mouth or referrals or repeated works. And I would look at your current client base. Have you maximised the entire reach of each, like, let's say, property manager? No, we haven't. Cool. Low-hanging fruit, that's kind of like task 1. And how would you go and carry that out right now if you was to go and, let's say you're working with 8 surveyors out of 20. What happens to the other 12? So do that first. I wouldn't focus on new clients, maximise that, and then have a structure of how your week is. And then I would go and look at your CRM, look at your pipeline. Who's doing BD? Is it all being tracked? If it's nothing being tracked, that's mistake number 1. So I would look at installing a new CRM. You do it, I do it, I'll teach you to do it, and build a flow of outreach, whether it's going to be calls in the morning and then emails in the afternoon, because I feel like sometimes you lose momentum. If it's call, done, email, done. No, I lose momentum personally. I can't do that. I'd rather do calls, no, emails later, because I'll say on the phone, right, I'll send you a follow-up or an email off this in the next couple of hours. If it's a live work, I'll have to probably take action on that straight away. Then I would look at in terms of, right, where is the business going in the next 6 months? Because most clients I work with, it's like a 3-4 month trial, because I'm not here to give you the pipe dream for the next 6 months. I'm not going to say I want to change your business. I will create a change, whether it's in week 3, week 4 onwards. Look at your marketing collateral, what you're sending to clients, look at your website. I'll look at a little bit in your social media, look at your first impressions. I'm not going to dig down on what you're saying. Unless it's something abrasive, then I would probably point it out. Because personal branding is so huge, in that first impression, I'll look at that. Marketing collateral, like your brochure, case studies, they need to be amended, because I can't do outreach, or if I've got someone on my team to do outreach for you, I'm representing you as a client. So if let's say yourself, as an example, if I was working with to get more people on the podcast, and I'm going to do outreach, it'll be your signature on the emails. It's not going to be me, not myself. I'm representing you, so it's your brand that's also at stake. And if you're going to have like a piss poor brochure, and it's just not being structured right, I'm not being hooked to look at it. Even if you're working on the smallest clients, but you've got a really good brochure and it tells you what you've done and you've solved people's problems, I'll keep reading on. Well, that's really good. And also, you've got to target their similar clients.
Do you think? Sorry, Karen. Yeah,
go for it. No, that'll be the first week or 2, and then I'll generate a new business development pipeline of, right, once you've done your low hanging fruit, these are the ideal clients you should be going after. Then we do a sign off, put me up, have a coffee or some lunch, run through the front end and the middle end, how it would work, emails, follow ups, nurturing. And now, by the way, before I used to do this, it was all manual. Now we'll get into AI a little bit and automation, because that's now made my life a lot easier for clients. So that's really important. And it's being personable on the follow-up. It's not just sending out spam, e-shot email. It's got to be personable. You've got to do that. So that's really the first 2 to 3 weeks. And clients are always going to ask, well, when am I going to get meetings? It can happen from the first week, because if it's anything warm and live, So if you're a fit out and this is a building consultancy and I've got 5 or 10, I could probably introduce you to, but I'll be like, right, let me actually do some more outreach to them just to re-qualify and see what's actually live or in the next 4 weeks, because they will want to meet you. So, and it's a complete red flag if someone sends you a tender now through your inbox, go price it. I'll be like, mate, you're just a price comparison. Mate, you're just money supermarket. You're being priced out with somebody else.
Worst price. I had one. I fell short, but I the thing is, sometimes I struggle to say no to tenders that come in. It's just, I always feel like it's just turn and work, unless it's glaringly obvious, and unless it's like, well, we don't do any work with tier 1 contracts or anything like that, so I'd always avoid that. But unless it's glaringly obvious, I struggle to say no sometimes. And
it's human nature though.
It's so difficult to say no, because I understand the longevity of a client and how far that could go. It's not because in construction it's always like, if you've delivered a project and you've got on with a client and you're successful at it, and it was on time and on budget, etc., then they're likely to come back to you. So like the client life cycle is infinite in construction, and you never know. It could be a £500 job, it could be a £1 million job, whatever it is. So I always think about that in my mind.
You have to act quick, because it will show that you'll get to site quick, you'll be on time. If you're replying back on an email late, or your submission or your tender's like 10 minutes before deadline, it will show to the client. Do you know what? Some people don't really see that, as if it's a property manager or surveyor or contractor. It doesn't matter. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty stuff, get the email, don't say no to it, but at least propose a meeting. Whether it's, if they're 100 miles away, you shouldn't, I don't know if you're working nationwide or not, but I wouldn't go to that client if you don't operate in that area. But if you are local, just get a coffee meeting. Go, mate, I'm shooting by the area. I'm going to go past you. Can we just drop by for 10 minutes? Come into your office. If not, do you want to meet up for coffee? Yeah. But it just shows you're making the effort. And get them on the phone if you can, and just say, look, just repeat that, because it shows you're interested. And if they're not interested to meet you, but they've sent you a tender, you're just going to be treated as a contractor. Or you can ask them what you're looking to get out of this tender, and just tell them what we do. Or even question, do you know anything about us? If they go, no, we don't, it's like, that's the client you don't really want to work with long term. But if it's cash flow that's up and down, mate, I completely get that. Or you just want to create that impression of, I'm not going to be that guy that turns down work, because what happen is, you don't know, if you say no to that work, they could shoot you down on another bit of work that's worth X, Y, and G. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? It's a conundrum that I come up against quite a lot, where I'm like, should I turn this work down? Should I not turn the work down? No one says no to work, but you can also salvage that into a better relationship building as well. Most cases now, 9 times out of 10, people have probably been on your LinkedIn or been on your website. I do that straight away. You have to. Whether that's judgmental or not, anyone in a professional working environment and in a relationship that I'm about to build, I always go on their LinkedIn. I search them on LinkedIn. I don't even know if this is right or not, but I search them on LinkedIn. I'll look at the quality of the layout of the page and whether they're posting or not. And I instantly go on it and look at it, and I just think, this is, because we spoke about this off camera, and it's the initial first representation of the type of person that you are. I find in a professional environment that is. So I'll go on their LinkedIn. Do they have a banner? Have they got a professional headshot? Are they posting things regularly? What types of things are they talking about? I'll do that before I even contact someone or speak to somebody. I'll look at it. I look at it before, so I have like a preconception of what they're like. Agreed. I don't even know if that's right or not. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Everyone's becoming, if you look at how the world is at the moment, there's a lot more fear and anxiety and unpredictability. So the element of making a decision now, I've seen with people, is more delayed than ever. So people are getting more skeptical with if it's buying anything or LinkedIn or just clicking something. If they've had a bad experience as well, that's always going to scar them. So if let's say a client wants to work with you, but they've had a really bad experience with a contractor, great opportunity to meet someone, by the way, because everyone's had. The guy I met yesterday, he was like, we've got a few contractors, but one didn't turn up. One said yes to the work, but they're just too busy, but they want to take on the work. And it's like, we just need someone who's responsive, quick, reliable, and is local. So you've got to act quick, but you've also got to be sharpened up with the social media. You don't have to. I said this in one of my posts recently. If you just need work, you need volume. You need outreach. And if you don't feel confident in social media, get on the phone or get someone to do it for you. Don't just rely on an email. Don't rely on the odd DM.
Oh, no one read the outbound emails as well. I don't know if you do or not, but I never read them. I just kind of like delete them. Sounds awful.
If you personalise it, put a really good subject line.
Yeah, interesting.
The first 2 lines is nailed on. If you can catch someone's attention with that. So most cases, I'll then send you a follow-up. If I couldn't physically get through to you, I'll be like, just spoke to Leanne on the phone. She put me through with you, but call dropped. You're going to carry me in the next line straight away. So you go, right, he actually called. It's not a spam email. I would only send that. Or if I was to, let's say I'll connect you to LinkedIn, called you, didn't have a hand, I'll be like, mate, just try dropping you a call. We just connect to LinkedIn. Give me a quick call to my number. You don't need to do a pitch. You don't need to say, oh, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, bullet point. I can do this project from like 50K up to like £1 million turnover. They don't care about that. They just want to know why you're emailing them.
Yeah.
Just get them on a call.
Yeah.
So if I was trying to contact you, if I'd never met you, and I thought, all right, working with Guy Local, I'll just try and get on the phone, mate.
Question for you. What do you think is more important in the modern day, specific to construction? Relationships and how they can be nurtured. Well, sorry, wrong way to ask that. What do you think is more important? Data and like social media and marketing, online presence, or in-person presence? In terms of like leads, getting sales, business development, like which one do you think is more important nowadays? Like relationships, creating relationships in person, nurturing, or having a strong online presence and keeping data?
If I had a choice of one.
Yeah, what do you think is more important, or is it the same, or are they of equal importance? Because you'd always think that 10 years ago it was in-person relationships, but maybe people are now thinking that the other side of things is more important. So like
Both,
yeah.
Both.
Work hand in hand.
60% relationships in person, 40% social media.
Okay.
And personal branding. And you don't need to be posting like every single day. If someone who hasn't got the time to do it, or they don't want to hire someone to do it, just be yourself. Just show you on site. Show that you're with your kids or with your mates. I think if you're really unconfident, post up on the weekend if you can, and then structure it Monday till Sunday. What am I going to post? So Monday till Wednesday, the attention span is quite good. So people want to be, it's the work mode. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's more the social aspect.
Yeah, my Fridays are awful on reach and impressions.
So
terrible. People they're really low, to be fair. Fridays are.
I'll be more social.
Yeah.
So going out or doing this on the weekend. I wouldn't be too worky unless you've just won a project or we've got some really good feedback. So have some testimonials in there. I would, if anyone, it's a really difficult one to answer straight off the bat. If it's someone who's been in the game for a couple of years and they're really unconfident, I'd do volume, outreach. Volume. Build your cup base off that. Get some good work, get some good case studies, and slowly nurture that onto social media, because you can want to prove to your pudding. And you want to reach out to clients, and they're using LinkedIn, they're going to look at your LinkedIn at some point.
Yeah.
So you've got to do both, mate. You've got to do both.
Let's have a little chat about AI and how that's integrating specifically with construction and what you are doing, because I know you're doing a few bits with AI and your clients. And like how do you think AI is going to revolutionize, I suppose is the word, if it is going to revolutionize the construction industry? And like, how do you think we should be merging with it and things we should be, like integrating into the businesses?
If you look at automation now, you can't ignore it. We're being used by, look at our normal generic personal emails that you get, like offers, you get like Black Friday, blah, blah. Everything's automated. And if you're following someone on a subscriber list, look at how they're doing things. That's been happening for 10 years. Now, with what we do in BD, you've got to look at what's more cost efficient that can get you more outcome and volume. So volume and output is huge, which puts you at a better position to get more opportunities and push your brand out there. Doesn't matter if you're using LinkedIn or not. If you've got a BDM right now or BDMs inside your team, you have to have automation, because if you want them to get the best outcome as a BDM, outreach has to be done. So first initial, if it's call or first response. The second or third follow-up is where you tend to get meetings from anyway. You don't ever get it from the first one unless it's urgent. A lot of people don't have the time now to do another manual email. So you need to create a sequence into your CRM where it's going to connecting your inbox, connecting your LinkedIn, connecting your website, connecting, let's say, if you've got another social media platform, You can create workflows now using like N8N. You can create workflows with that, and that allows you as an agent to connect. Mate, it's amazing what it can do. And add that to your CRM that's been built. So if you're using like, let's say HubSpot, if you're using Pipedrive or Monday
we use, yeah.
Monday's cool. So I'm now using Go High Level, which is amazing. And that's allowing you to do like everything that you need to do with marketing, sales, and the CRM of workflows. So I've just started to use that, and I've just introduced it with one client at the moment, and it's working really, 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 really well. And he's just a 2-man band guy. And he's now just literally, I mentioned it before off camera, so he was missing out on like 20 to 30 calls. I'll say 15 to 20 calls a week. And we worked out he was missing about $6,000 worth of business per month.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And he didn't need to hire a BDM or sales guy. He need to go and pay them 50, 60, 80 grand a year, or part-time. He had the automation to come in. So what it did, if he was on site and the missed call would come in, it would create an option of the voice agent, option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4. Would you need a quote? Do you need a callback? Is it existing client inquiry, new business, anything else? And then that option, if I press 2 for new business, that'll go to my email. This person just inquired, this is the number, call her back.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Amazing. So what will happen is we'll come off site for 2-3 hours, look at his inbox, it'll just ping. So he can get on the call straight away.
Interesting.
Now, if it's something really urgent, it'll go straight to his phone, personal mobile. So I always recommend having like a landline and a mobile as well.
Yeah.
So it makes it more professional as well. But AI is doing that, mate, at the moment.
So that's, that sounds like it could be really, really good for like maybe smaller contractors, I suppose.
You can use both, smaller, medium-sized contractors.
That's what I was going to ask. So if you're a medium or big size contractor, like how would you approach with the use of AI? The reason why I say it is because by the sounds of it, the client there is maybe I think you said a 1 or 2 man band, and he is probably the business himself. But say, for instance, you have a team of 10 people in an office, a couple of sales, some business development, a couple of project managers and finance and etc. Like how would you integrate AI into the business, and like how would you start using it?
You can integrate the whole team onto it. So you can have the BDMs, the project managers, management as well. And you can look at who's doing what project. That goes into BDM goes into project management. And if anything comes through as a new lead, it has to go through to get tendered. It goes through to, let's say if it's estimators or QSs. Instead of you manually sending it, you can just use the AI to send it straight away. So it just skips past everyone. So if I went on a lunch break and a tender came through, instead of me being emailed to me, it will then ping off to the next sequence of down the food chain. So it's just creating a workflow.
How much business do you think, if you could put a number on or a percentage, contractors are missing by not using AI?
I believe right now, the medium-sized firms, I'm talking about people who've got 15 to 20 headcount, I'm losing about 60% of new business.
It's crazy, isn't it?
60%.
And that's just because they don't have a workflow to keep.
Workflow, not quick enough on responses, which is huge, I see as feedback. I feel like not having the follow-up process done correctly. So you're not following up within 48 hours. Don't leave it 3-4 days. Oh, I feel bad. No, mate, they forget about you in 10 minutes. Everyone's got so much to do in a day.
It's interesting you say that, sorry to interrupt, because again, I recorded with Clive, who started and grew a company to £150 million. Someone you'd consider would have a very, very limited amount of time to be doing mundane things. He swore by the fact that he would always have an empty inbox. He would always get back to people. So like, you can imagine someone of that level in terms of like how busy he is a day to day. He would, even at the peak of when his business was £150 million, he would always reply to every single email, regardless of what it is. At the end of the day, he would never leave anything unread.
It shows how you operate. If you operate at that high turnover, that's props to him to how he's operating inside his business. And for him, he's obviously got to that stage where he spent less time inside the business. He's got someone to do it for him. So you've got to be responsive. You've got to be quick, because it shows that you genuinely want to work with people. And I always say, get in front as much as you can. So Clive would have done that. He would have had a system behind the scenes, whether it's him or a team behind him, to create more clients, more project growth.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting use of AI, what you said there in terms of the workflow it gives you, because I listened to Diary of a CEO podcast the other day about somebody who works in AI security, has done for 15 years.
The guy from Google.
No, I think, are you talking about
Mo Gawat.
Yeah. So I haven't listened to that, but that apparently is really interesting. But I can't remember the gentleman's name. I'm pretty sure he's Eastern European, maybe. I can't remember. But anyway, he was he was almost on the fence about AI in general, about what it's going to do to the world. And, you know, we're going beyond construction now. We're just going to the general world.
Yeah.
And he talks in real detail about how he's actually concerned for the longevity of society, and that's if AI genuinely does get introduced and rolled out how it's supposed to be getting rolled out, then AI will be so superior to human beings in 10 years, 15 years time. I'm pretty sure he said by 2050, 98% of jobs will be redundant, and there will be 2% of, 98% of humans will be redundant to unemployment. There will only be 2% of, and he actually thinks that tradesmen will be one of the people who will still be in jobs.
Yeah.
But he's really concerned about the way it's going, about the integration with AI. Because I think not that podcast, but another thing I listened to as well was that the use of, for example, ChatGPT. You know, like everyone uses it to an extent, but
they've just created their own. Google got Chrome. They've just opened up their own version called, it's not Comet, it's called something else now. But anyway, everyone's now using that.
Everyone's using it. I mean, I looked at a TikTok the other day, and it was Grok, which is the one from X, is now being put into Teslas, and you can use it while you're driving. But anyway, what the guy was saying in the short form clip was that the more we use AI, the less intelligent humans become, and the less intelligent the less we grow our brains in terms of intelligence. Because if you're getting AI to do absolutely everything for you, you're not using your brain to the full capacity it's supposed to. And they say that the more and more we use it, in 5-10 years time, humans will be, there will be such a dumbed down version of a human being, because they are so heavily reliant on AI and so reliant on things like ChatGPT and Grok and whichever one you mentioned.
If you look at construction, going back to generating leads, two softwares that people can use right now or free actually, is like Apollo, Instantly.ai, Email Sneak as well. Mate, it's sales nav times by 1,000, pretty much. And you can have that installed into your CRM, and it will do everything for you as a transcript. So instead of you manually doing an email in 10, 15 minutes, I can put your website onto this, and it will scan you, your LinkedIn profile, what you do, all your projects into one email. I'll have to personalize it and tweak it, but I've just saved myself pretty much 25 minutes, 20 minutes of that.
Little niches of AI I think is really good. Like that, for instance, that's a really good way to use it. But I think what they were talking about there is like, as a whole, if it's not now, but if it continues to go the way it's going, as a whole, it could potentially, like, this sounds doom and gloom, but it could potentially take over society as a whole.
People who know how to use it won't get replaced.
Yeah, very true.
People who don't know how to use it, doesn't matter if you've got the best business model in the world, in any sector, construction, beauty, fashion, whatever, you will get left behind. And it will be, I reckon, the next 2 to 3 years.
That's not even that far away.
Mate, 2 to 3 years, you're going to see businesses, and doesn't matter how well you're doing, if you're not incorporating AI right now, you will get found out. You'll see, honestly, the first time will be people leaving your business, going to firms that are using AI.
Yeah.
Because they want job security.
Well, I actually saw the other day as well. Sorry, I know I keep bloody
go for it.
Rambling on, but I saw the other day that there's actually companies out there. This you probably know this, but there's companies out there who when they're putting a job advert out, the use of AI is on the job title. You have to be able to use X, Y, and Z to be able to come work with us.
Or you've got to have the enthusiasm to learn to get into AI.
Yeah.
So people want to teach you how to use it, which is great. You have to start incorporating, mate. Like, you can't ignore it. It's in everyone's faces right now, especially in the construction world. I'm seeing I don't think I've seen anyone mention it on LinkedIn on my feed, and I'm on it every single day. I don't live on it, but I'll scroll for a couple of minutes, and it's the same. And I get it. You've got to operate the same in your business, but if you're not incorporating that, if you want to create more profit margins, you can cut costs. You don't have to cut staff. Teach your staff how to use it. Get someone inside the business as external source or consultant to go, I'll teach you how to use it, so it doesn't save you sacking your staff because you've seen someone online to go, I can do it for you, because your staff is going to end up using it for you. So you need to have people inside your business. So keep your sales staff. But I do believe, as a general whole, mate, with the way society is, now you need to just learn about it. Spend at least like 1 hour, half an hour a day if you could.
Yeah.
Half an hour a day, because there's new agents coming out every week. Every single week. I saw one last night, I'm like, Jesus, it's overwhelming. Because it gets so overwhelming, you log off and I can't be bothered to do this.
Yeah.
And then what will happen is you'll end up reaching out to somebody, and some nerd online, and go, do you know what? I see you doing this. Can we just jump on a call? I just want to see if I can add this on my system.
Interesting. So in like a utopian world, for instance, right, in an ideal world, in your opinion, how if you say, for instance, I was a contractor and I was a small contractor, for instance, there was only like a few of us here, what would be the first implementation of AI that you think I should use?
I would introduce Go High Level, put that into your system. That creates your workflow, the basic version.
And break that down in a layman's terms, like what is Go High Level and how would I be able to use that?
Go High Level is a huge CRM that sorts out your marketing, like you can do your own landing pages, see if you can do an offer for clients. I don't think you should have a website. I think you should have a really good landing page. It'll do that as well, because you can put your brochure, you can put your case studies. It's just one page. No one doesn't want to click that. You'd rather send a brochure or send a landing page. So it does that. You can create voice agents, which is great for small and medium contractors or consultants, even big firms as well now. If they don't want to have a receptionist, or she's on holiday for 2 weeks, or he, had that put in. So it goes into the team straight away, or internally inside the team. You can have your own CRM, so track all your leads and pipeline, all the calls.
That's a huge issue. I genuinely, as silly as it sounds, I think the majority of construction companies don't use CRM.
No, I ask everyone, do you have your calls recorded? No. They're not meant to. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So I went, right, if you had a BDM of like 5 or 6 people in your team, I'd always ask senior or management, are the calls being recorded? Nope. How are they getting monitored? How they're being looked after? Like, who's nurturing? Are they being trained? Is their sales process being trained? So as a sales system, the sales skill set, is that being retrained? Because if they're not, they're just going to leave or do something else, or they get bored, or they're not going to perform.
And when sorry to interrupt, just I don't want to let this thought process go. But so when you say calls recorded, do you mean physically being recorded, or do you mean like just recorded on a CRM afterwards and logged?
So if you're using a system that's got like a head, if you've got a call system, so you can use your mobile attached to Go High Level, so it'll record all the calls and it'll go straight into that system. So then someone can actually listen to those calls, or you can listen to it back. And you go, I didn't get a tender, I didn't get the meeting. Why didn't I get it? I know it's really nitty gritty, but because I've come from that background, when I used to do sales coaching and training, I'd always go, let's look at your calls. Where did it not go right? What could you have improved on? Because mate, that can be a game changer of you making like no targets for that week, for you to making X amount of meetings, which leads to X amount of tenders, and that could create you and your business X amount, as in like potential turnover. And by the way, you've got to win the work as well.
Yeah, of course.
But this is just about opportunities. So
you'd record. So you would say someone rang in, right, and they were like, I'm part of a building consultancy firm. I'm a surveyor. I've got this project X, Y, and Z. Are you interested in doing this? What sort of things do you guys do? And then you explain what you do. You talked about the project a little bit. Tried to get the tender, didn't come in. You'd record that call, log the call, and then maybe monthly you'd run through every single call, or weekly, or how would you do it?
If you didn't meet your targets for the week, but you did a lot of outbound, lots of volume, there's something obviously missing. I'll just go back all the calls, but someone's got to do that.
Yeah.
But that's really helpful for big BDM teams.
Yeah.
So for your tier ones, your tier main contractors, or developers, or agency consultants, it's really going to help them. And I can I'll bet you right now, like 99.9%, most people will not listen to their sales calls. A, time, B, can't bother to, 3, I don't know what to do after, and I don't know how to micromanage these people and give them that feedback. Because if you've got great BDMs and great salespeople, mate, they're the anchor to your business. If it's external source, if it's internally, or as a consultant that you've hired, mate, or even an agency, the agency should be doing it for you, they are the asset to your business. Without that, you can't grow.
How about, so once you've listened to the calls, I might be asking really silly questions.
No, go for it, man.
It's just there's hopefully people listening who are probably thinking these questions, but say you've listened to a call, like how would you know where you've gone wrong? So if you're, say for instance, because you are just, a lot of people are just themselves on the phone. They don't maybe understand psychology and sales psychology and people psychology as such when you're trying to sell yourself or whatever it is, or trying to get a tender, and like, how would you know where you've gone wrong on a call?
I'll look at the first 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Introduction to yourself, tone of voice, response. Don't like listen and pause. Don't butt in the first 5 minutes. Let them talk, man. And I've been so guilty now. And do you know what? I'll probably still do it now without even knowing, like day to day.
I've done it a fair few times to you today.
Mate, I think it's something that, do you know what? It's really difficult to work on. But over time, it's patience and kind of like just stepping back and let the other person talk. Do some research. If they're working on a case study that's local, mention it. Or even if it's just a case study that you're familiar with, because you've done a project very similar. Oh, you worked with Overbury, did that. Oh, that's really good. Really like that. You mention, drop a name. Do you know someone? Even of the case study you mentioned, the contract you worked with. Mention it because it shows you're interested. They want to know why you're calling, and it's all about partnerships here. So it's all about how can I help you? You can help me. It's nothing to do with sales. Because they want something off you can get something off them. So architects are the best example. If you're a main contractor and you're trying to get some work for architect, they need more of you. They're the best people to speak to sometimes. So you need to find an equilibrium balance. So I'll look at your intro, tonality, are you letting them talk? And how much talking are you doing? The more you're talking, the less likely you're going to get an outcome. But the more they're talking, it shows that openly got time for you. They're talking about what you need and they're trying to answer your question as well, and just find some pain points really quick. And if you can qualify them down, and they've got, do you know what? Sometimes you have to get to the nitty gritty and say, look, mate, just looking to see where we can help you within the next coming weeks or your live pipeline. If it's mention the word live because it's ongoing works. I go, yeah, well, I'm working on this at the moment, and then go into that a bit more. And they're like, right, it's actually really good. I'm going to close for a meeting. And you don't, mate, you just need to keep it casual. Just go, look, just dropping by. And if you don't even need to if you're local, you're going to be in the area anyway. Just be genuine.
Would you recommend if you had a sales team or estimating team in construction, would you recommend having actual sales training?
So I'm potentially going to go into and see like a big contractor soon. I've been asked to come in to help their BDMs. They've been around for a couple of years, just to sharpen up their skill set and toolkit, look at what they're doing with outreach, look at their response rates, look at what emails are coming back to them. I would recommend it, mate, to everyone.
Have an actual sales trainer. So what I mean by that is, say, for instance, you've got a couple of people working in business development, a couple of estimators, maybe a team of 3 or 4 in those 2 roles. Would you recommend having actual like in-person sales training by someone coming into the business or externally going to workshops?
I'd go in there once a month.
Yeah.
I'd go in there once a month, nothing like weekly. It's just too robotic. I would do it once a month, depending where the firm is with pipeline growth. If they need more accountability, maybe twice a month. I would 100% recommend it, and no one's not doing it. I've not had one call recently in the last probably 12 months, and anyone's gone and said, yeah, I've got someone in. You might get the odd consultant that comes in because they know someone in sales, or they've come in, done a chat, just paid them a fee, and cool, what's the follow-up process? Nothing's happened since, not come back. Well, that person clearly didn't do a great job. It's a great impact into your system. Now, so with this guy potentially going to go in, we're just going back and forth with dates. It's going to be go high level, the systems, look at what they're doing. What they're using is quite manual as well. So everything's all manual work. He wants to save a bit more time and just get them to work on more clients and more outreach. But what's happening is they're just working on existing clients and a few newer clients, but they need more. But he loves his staff. So I'm going to go in there, have a little tweak and have a look and see what they're doing. But originally, mate, you're not going to go and retrain people. It's just tweaking with what they're saying, how quick and responsive they are when it comes to conversations. And most people just need more volume, mate. Loads of volume. So with some one-to-one clients I'm working with, I'm physically doing their calls for them because I'm going after the clients they want to be working with. Because it's a warm list, so nothing's ever cold. I can't physically do a cold list. If it is a cold list, I'll create a warm and just do a lot of LinkedIn outreach, and I'll physically just call them up and qualify them. Because there is no such thing as cold calls in construction. Everyone's working on similar projects, man.
Yeah.
It just comes down to the pricing, which is annoying. That's
such a shame, man. In the industry, it's such a shame that people who are tendering projects like consultancy firms or surveyors sometimes they'll just scroll down to the bottom line. Oh, he's 10 grand cheap. I'll go with him. It's common. It's so common.
I saw it yesterday. The guy the surveyor. He goes, I had one guy come in, undercut my go-to contractor, and the client wanted to go ahead with him, but I opted against it. And I said that's going to get retendered. It happens. It gets retendered. I actually think it should go retendered. If it does, it's just so bad, mate, and it's not going to stop.
No, you are right. It's definitely not, because I had a chap called Paul Hemming who came in, who runs a quantity surveying software company called C-Link, and he basically said that the major issue with the surveying side of things is that everything is based off of numbers and cost.
Yeah.
So like if they can cut a corner with cost, or if they can save some money, then that's what they're going to do, because that's what they're judged on. That's what their commission's based off. So that's a real problem with the industry. Something I wanted to ask, just sort of like going forward, is like, what's your plans with like what you're doing, and what's like an ideal client for you, and how would you want to work with them? I know we've obviously dived in for the last hour about that, but if you had to like kind of narrow it down and give us like your plans going forward, and like what sort of clientele do you want to work with?
I like working with clients who are emergently growing, not too big. So someone who's got a team of three. There's two clients. There's a client who's got like a team of 5, and then my most ideal would be like a team of 10 plus. Because it shows what they've done has worked. They've got some stability, and it's all about growing that. So that's probably the ideal client, and they really want to take their business to where it can get to. Whereas your tier ones, they don't need actual BD help. They probably need more sales. So what I'm doing now is I'm creating different offers and different. So if it's 1-to-1, I'll physically help you. If it's more the sales side, I will also help as well. Systems and the AI will also be involved. And some clients may not need BDM, they just need a lot of automation on the background. So they're going to be more for the smaller contractors, smaller consultants, guys who don't want to, they're just happy with where they are, but they just need more volume. I'm happy to introduce that as well. But really it's going to be the guys from 10 headcount onwards. There because they need help. They'll have a couple of project managers, estimators. There might be 2 or 3 at the top. But they don't have a BDM because they don't want to babysit them as well. I just want to be building on the business. So if you haven't got time to babysit, which I don't think you should now, I feel like most BDMs now should be coming in straight into the bat. If you're training a BDM, you're just spending too much time, and then if you want to get rid of them, there's a notice period, you're paying them as well a salary, it's just too much. So, and it's just more costly. It's just too much cost for them. Yeah,
actually is. And what about kind of like plans going forward for yourself and the business that you're running at the moment? Like have you got any goals or anything you want to reach target-wise? Yeah, so my target at the moment is to work within London based as I am. I'm working with a few guys up north as well, but really just to maximise where I am because some clients want to see me as well. I want to really go into that and then go up to Northern region, and then go into potentially in Europe and Middle East as well. Interesting.
I've had someone reach out in Middle East. I had to say no because I've got no time to travel. He wanted help. I said to him, I can help you based on kind of what to do on BD. So we've done a few Teams calls, but I can't physically do it for you, or can get someone from my team to do it for you as well. It's just time because I want to work only with a set amount of clients who I can deliver for.
Yeah.
If you work with too many clients, this is why I wanted to use the AI, which I'm doing now, because that can run in the background. So with one of my clients at the moment that's running in the background, and that's creating, we've worked out 80% more volume that's going out of outreach, personalizing everything to a T, and anything that comes back, I'll do the calls. So our content, it allows me to take on more clients as well, which means I might have to get more like a sales rep to help, who I can train up as well.
Interesting.
So I'm going to get a few sales rep guys just to help out. They're got to be a copycat of me. It can't be anyone. So I'm going to train them up as well, help them. There'll be people that have come from the AI world as well. So I wouldn't need to train them on AI. They already know how to use it. They might need some help on how it's going to integrate this new workflow for clients. So that's the way the world is working, mate.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, especially in our industry, construction. Like in all other industries, then this kind of already been implemented. But in our industry, I think you're probably onto something, to be fair. So like, yeah, kudos for you for going for it.
Yeah, man. It's just people want more leads and more meetings and more opportunity.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be paying at a high price point of an agency.
As simple as that. Faisal, thank you so much for coming on today.
No worries, man.
It's been interesting to dive into like how you look at things from a sales and business development perspective, because like I said earlier in the podcast, construction isn't seen as a sales industry. It's kind of seen as like order taking as such. Like you have a a client, and then they give you an order, and then you deliver the project. But no one really looks at the psychology behind the sales and the business development. So it's interesting to hear your perspective and also what you're doing. And I'm sure you'll be really, really successful, mate, in what you're doing in terms of helping people. You sound like you've got real aptitude for it. So thanks for coming on, my friend.
Appreciate it, mate.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.